Tayyib as well. So Tayyib means wholesome and ethical. So all of our foods sort of make sure that we carry that through to the brand as well. And it's things like shepherd's pie, lasagna, pizza,
old
pasta.
favourites, yeah.
Yeah, just like normal food, but halal. And it's available in Sainsbury's. We launched a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, mashallah, well, congratulations on that as well. Alhamdulillah.
So what I wanted to know was, what was the reaction like from your family and friends when you said to them, you know what, I've had enough, I'm going to make my own halal brand? Did they believe it? Did they say, no, you're losing the plot or something?
Oh, you know what? Alhamdulillah, I'm so blessed to have such a supportive family. The idea that I had it actually about 8 years ago when I left university. And it's been a long time, obviously, and I've had day jobs and things. And it's been sort of the pet project that I've worked on in evenings and weekends. And everyone's always been supportive about it. But I was kind of waiting for the right time to launch it. And actually, it was my father that was sort of my main champion and was like, you know, you've been talking about this for so many years, like, please just go and do it. And so I took the plunge last year, and alhamdulillah, I mean, the reaction from the community has been amazing. It's so nice to know that this problem hasn't just been in my head. You know, that's the risk as well, is that, oh, it's actually just me that was hungry. OK, no, it's quite embarrassing.
It's interesting that you talk about the community, actually. What do you think there... I mean, I think there is an importance to have this kind of product in mainstream supermarkets.
Yeah.
So what do you... how do you think this is important for the community?
Oh, I think it's a really small behaviour, but I think it's something that's really important. To be able to just walk into a normal supermarket, pick something up off the shelf, know that it's good quality, that it's halal, that it's tasty, that it's ethical, be able to put it in your shopping trolley, go home and have it for dinner. I mean, it's such a small... It might seem like such a small thing, especially to non-Muslims, but it means so much to us.
It's so true. We were all saying this morning.
You don't have to go to a special shop, you don't have to go to a special thing. Like, this is just good quality food. And actually, the reaction from non-Muslims has been really great as well, because it's just really good quality food at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter which background you're from, whether you're Asian, whether you're Revert, whether you're Afro-Caribbean, it doesn't matter. Like, everyone loves pizzas, right? Everyone loves pizzas. Who doesn't love shepherd's pie? I mean, and it's just been really good fun kind of creating that food range with all of those people. So we've had lots of focus groups where we try to build in a lot of sort of values that's important to everybody, not just to me, but to everybody, into the brand. And now you can start to see some of that sort of positive reaction coming back from the community, and it's been really overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Really
food is such a good joiner of people, isn't it?
It is. This is the thing. We all feel British, right? And it's just such a frustration not being able to have British foods. And Britain is so great at kind of championing great cuisines. I mean, you walk around in London, you've got Vietnamese and Argentinian, and all of these different types of cuisines. You wouldn't see that anywhere else in Europe. You know, like the level that Britain champions great food, and it's just really nice to be able to make some sort of humble effort towards contributing to that and giving Muslims access to some of that.
It's really fantastic. It's not sort of mutually exclusive.
Exactly.
The type of foods that you're branding.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's really quite funny. The other day, so our tagline is Muslims just eat curry, right? No, we eat lots of other foods, and it's really quite funny. We were doing some sampling in Sainsbury's the other day, and this little old English lady came up to me. She was so sweet. I love old people. She came up to me and she said, "Oh, what tasty dish do you have?" And I said, "Oh, we're having a shepherd's pie. We've got chicken tagliatelle. We're sampling a range of our foods." And she said, "Oh, I thought you were going to serve me a nice curry. I saw you, and I saw your beautiful scarf, and I thought she's going to give me a nice curry." No, we serve other foods. We do eat other things. So this is it. This is about Muslims finally just being able to enjoy other types of foods that are really good quality and taste great as well, and are ethical, because I think that's really important, and it's inherent within Islam that we treat our animals well, that we look after the environment, all of those sorts of things, and that's what's really important to IE as well.
Alhamdulillah. Well, thank you for sharing with us your experiences as well, and we're just going to move it now to our next segment, Straight to Her Views. In much of the news today, we find many commentators speaking of the need to revitalise economic growth. One way which is flagged up is the promotion of more women to take up a role in the field of business, starting up their own companies and services. According to the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, there are 126 million women operating new businesses and another 98 million at the helm of established ones. Alhamdulillah, many Muslim women are entering prominently in this field within the UK and abroad. However, one of the hurdles many women face, even established female entrepreneurs, is gender inequality. Do you have a business? Thinking of starting one up? Could you give any tips or advice to anyone who wishes to do so? Please call us in with questions and comments related to the topic. The numbers should be appearing on your screen shortly. Well, let's start this off, inshallah. I just want to start with you, Sister Shazia, about this. What are the main principles of starting a business? Because I think that's a great starting foundation when we look at this conversation. What are the main principles and what are the kind of hurdles that women or generally people might face when they want to do this?
I think some of the very best businesses that we see today are ones that solve a genuine market need. So it's either you've spotted an opportunity like our food one, for example, or you think you are able to offer something better than what's currently out there at the moment. I think that's a really key thing, because if you can get that USP, a unique selling point, it means that your business will do well, inshallah, and sort of make sure that there's a genuine customer base that you'll always be able to draw from.
Yeah.
The other principle I would put with that is just reminding ourselves that we're Muslims and that we should conduct our businesses ethically. You know, so that means treating your customers fairly, it means treating your suppliers fairly, and making sure that ethics runs all the way through the way that you're running your business.
That's absolutely very, very important. What is the heritage of entrepreneurship within Islamic history? Because, I mean, we've got quite a few good examples, don't we, SubhanAllah, Sister Ayan?
Yeah, mashallah, we know that, you know, one of the mother of the believers, Khadija radiallahu anha, she was, mashallah, a tradeswoman. She used to send her caravans throughout the Arabian Peninsula, buying and selling goods. She was known for really handling her business affairs really well. She was a woman who was incredibly ethical, woman who was well respected by everyone because they knew her to be truthful, they knew her to be very good at what she did, and even personally, she was a woman of great character. So for her, I think, for us as Muslim women, we have, mashallah, her great example to look up to. But also started looking at, you know, the other women out there, you know, more recently, the more sort of modern female role models that we have. And mashallah, I found quite a few. In just Malaysia alone, I found three, mashallah, three sisters who've been the first in their fields. And there's Sister... I'm going to have to get this name right, mashallah, it's a long name. Tengku Datuk Paduka Nur Zakia Tengku Ismail, and she's the executive chairman of K&K Kanaga Holdings. And she was the very first licensed stockbroker in Malaysia, and this was in 1973, so she was the first, mashallah. Also, there's another sister, Datuk Khadija Ahmed, and she's the founder of CAF, which is a financial powerhouse. And then she both received recognition locally and internationally. And in 1997, she was the first Malaysian to receive Leading Women Entrepreneurs of the World Award. We also have another sister, Datuk Mazna Abdul Hamid, and she's the founder of and managing director of a Secure Force group of companies, and she's dubbed as the Iron Lady of Malaysia. SubhanAllah. Wow. I found that quite funny when I saw that. And she entered the male-dominated business of security. Wow. So just in Malaysia alone, you can see that there's a high caliber of businesswomen out there. And also just last summer, London, the Urban Muslim Women's event was hosted, and it was supposed to bring together a range of different Muslim women. So women in business, women who were creative designers, all sorts of different types of Muslim women who had their own thing going, bringing those great minds together and seeing if collaboration and anything could happen between them. And this is just in London alone. So just to think that a whole event was reserved for Muslim women, in this sort of aspect, just shows that there must be a great number of Muslim women out there who are incredibly business-minded, who have their own businesses, who are incredibly creative as well. And subhanAllah, there's so many people, so many women out there, Muslim women, who've got their own businesses, who are founders, CEOs of so many different types of businesses. It takes forever to kind of get through all of them.
Absolutely.
So that's those are a few examples.
It's amazing that they've actually, gone into fields that may be considered to be quite male-dominated, especially within the 70s and 80s and whatnot, and they've actually reached a very high degree within that particular field. Did you want to add something, Sister Liz?
Actually, I was looking into this a little bit as well, and what I found is that, yes, there are a lot of Muslim women out there there, you know, in the field of business, but it's quite hard to find them. You do have to kind of scratch the surface a little bit. But what is good is that, as you mentioned, the Urban Muslim Woman event, and there's various other things going on throughout the world. In Saudi Arabia, they had Women Appreciation Month, which I think is fab. Why not? We should have one. Which was initiated in 2011, and this was to kind of celebrate, not just to celebrate, but give support to you know, entrepreneurs and business women, and they get help with you know, financial help. They also get business coaching, contacts, that kind of thing. So it's not just about celebrating them; it's about elevating you know, their position. And I think when we think about this idea of women in business, you know, as a wife, as a mother, it's a very logical thing to do. Absolutely. To kind of, you know, generate an income for yourself. And even, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Ahzab, both the men and women are appointed as his trustees here on the earth. So, you know, we need to take that initiative to, you know, generate income in a way that's suitable for us and our home life and our family needs. And I know, you know, not a known example to anybody, but somebody who's significant to me, my late mother-in-law, when she lost her husband, her children were all, you know, under 10. Wow. She had 9 children, mashallah. She, you know, so childcare, it was kind of not an option for her. And she actually started her own textile business from home. And, you know, she was able to support her whole family on that. So that's, you know, such an inspiration for me.
That's so interesting. We have a whole range of different people from around the world who are getting involved. I mean, you tend to think that women in business is quite, you know, sort of a European sort of venture or Western type of venture. We have women from all over the world who do this. And it's quite interesting that women who are carers for their kids and, you know, or wives as well, are entering into this. But I know that from my own experiences, we have a lot of people from my community who tend to sort of sell what we call laces. They're quite African type costumes, and they tend to do this, and it's really quite interesting that they venture into this. But that's one of the benefits for a lot of women in this field. What other overall benefits could we find for women who enter into business?
So it's quite funny. I had a job for 8-9 years, and it's quite a demanding job at that. You know, I was working many hours a day, and now having your own business, I probably end up working more hours. But what the benefit is that I have the choice as to when to work those hours. And it's not sort of, you don't have to go to an office at 9 and clock up at 5 and show your face. And if you're not there at 9:10, people start raising eyebrows or anything like that. You know, it's I have the choice to be able to go, okay, I'm going to work this evening, I'm going to work Saturday morning, but then I'm going to spend the rest of the time with my family. Like, you have the absolute ability to be able to be really flexible. And mashallah, that's a great benefit to have, because normally when you're in a day job, it's not your choice. You know, you have to be there at a certain time. You have to show your face. You have to put in the hours. Whereas here, you have the complete flexibility to choose and do what you need to do.
And it's quite run-of-the-mill, isn't it, a 9-to-5 job? And sometimes you always want a bit of spontaneity. And I think within the field of business, that's something that you definitely do find as well.
You know, the other benefit I think as well is that it's a really good example for your children. You know, for your children to be able to see that. And sometimes, you know, subhanAllah, you're able to generate enough of a business that it's something to actually pass on to them as well. So, you know, there's a huge benefit from that aspect as well.
But even in running your business, you know, that your children and people around you and other sisters and so on will learn so much from how you conduct yourself and how you overcome certain challenges and those sort of things. And you're basically just setting a really great role model for future generations, inshallah, if you do things properly.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a fantastic field to definitely venture in, because, you know, we talk a lot about ethics and how you treat people and your clients and so forth, but it definitely does teach you and train you to pick up a lot of the principles that we've discussed a lot on this show, such as patience and tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and, you know, things that we consider to be spiritual, but when we apply them in aspects such as this, it's something that really flourishes us, isn't it? Which is really